It's another week and time for us to review what the lawmakers in the federal legislature have considered and the resolutions they were able to reach. Welcome, I'm Lanre Lasese and this is the Gavel. Now this week, President Muhammadu Buhari met with the leadership of the National Assembly in a meeting many hope will enable the two arms of government agree on how to ensure that the 2016 budget is properly implemented. And two federal lawmakers in the House of Representatives have defected from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress. Let's start with the meeting of the president with the leadership of the National Assembly.
President Muhammadu Buhari hosting lawmakers drawn from the Senate as led by Senator Bukola Saraki and House of Representatives led by Honorable Yakubu Dogara. Also present are party bigwigs drawn mainly from the APC and other top government officials. They converge on the banquet hall for a presidential dinner to mark the 2016 Democracy Day. The president says he appreciates them for the great work done so far in considering bills sent by the executive, bills that have made the government to function according to the law. He calls for more passages.
I am conscious that on June 9, 2016, the National Assembly will complete one legislative year. May I appeal to you to consider and pass these submitted bills, particularly the statutory budget of the Federal Capital Territory, the Niger Delta Development Commission budget, and the budget of statutory corporations. These bodies cannot execute the statutory mandate nor incur expenditure for unless their budgets are approved by the National Assembly. I hereby restate the commitment of this administration to observe the principles of separation of powers, which defines and delineates the functions and powers of each of the government. Thus far, we in the executive have restricted ourselves to our constitutional roles. Therefore, I as President and we as executive arm of government will not interfere in the functioning and process of the legislature nor the judiciary. I urge you as legislators and the legislator to take out time and communicate with your constituents and other Nigerians the policies of the government which we base on laws approved by the National Assembly.
Skeptics had thought that this democracy would have been truncated by now, and such people have been proven wrong by Nigerians. The Senate President says so far so good.
It is not easy for a country to go through 17 years of uninterrupted democracy and also to be able, through the electoral process, decide in changing one government to another. I think we all agree with me that our democracy is no longer at puberty, but our democracy has matured. And in congratulating Nigerians and yourself, I think it has come at the right time. I use this opportunity to say on behalf of our colleagues that we will continue to request and demand that we have more and more of these kind of interactions. The spirit of this gathering is good and can only do a lot to strengthen our democracy, help our relationship, and make us be able to deliver for the good people of Nigeria who have trusted these positions.
Nigerians look forward to seeing the various arms of government live up to the promise to provide them democracy dividend and having a more fruitful and engaging partnership.
Now, we all will be expecting more of such meetings so that the relationship between the two arms will translate into tangible benefits for the country. Let's take our next report on an investigative hearing on the processes and guidelines through which oil and gas assets are acquired in the country. Nigeria is noted worldwide for its abundant resources in oil and gas. But despite these resources, the country appears not to have utilized the potentials for its development. This gathering in the House of Representatives is to investigate alleged malpractice in the allocation of oil and gas assets in the country.
There is no doubt that the oil and gas sector is the hub of the nation's revenue generation, and everything humanly possible should be done to maximize benefit from the sector. It is, however, sad that despite this national asset endowment and the ranking of Nigeria as the sixth largest producer of oil in the world, Nigeria still imports petroleum products.
The hearing commenced with the ad hoc committee reviewing the 2005, 2006 and 2007 licensing rounds and raising some issues. An official of the Department of Petroleum Resources addressed some of their concerns.
277, Oiska Corporation, 1, but Sterling Global Oil Resources Limited was awarded. OPL 280, Technical System Engineering Limited, but you awarded it to Sterling Global Oil Resources.
I can assure you that those people claiming they won are either a party, because like the 907, the BG is part of the consortium that won that block.
Some of the participants present agree that there is an urgent need to amend the process.
The minister the right to do it by competitive or do it by discretionary and so on. With that, it gives a little bit of complication, and I think that is one of the key things that this committee needs to address, the manner of allocation, so that we are all on the same wavelength.
I know that when my minister comes, he's going to engage with you robustly, but when he took over, part of the harvesting of information that we did was we found out that the processes that we've engaged in have not been very clear. They have not been pretty gray. You asked a matter of discretion. Discretion and processes, yes, they've not been so tidy. And it gives us now the opportunity to go back to the drawing board and get our selection parameters very, very clean.
The committee is to meet with some of the companies that participated in the past licensing rounds before it concludes its investigation.